Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Chris Murray here. I'm back for my revised annotated bibliography over financial literacy. And what I didn't do, my first video was break down all my sources and explain them. And basically here what I have is I'm going to explain the situations over financial literacy and why this is important. And it's an important conversation to have because who don't want to know how to save money or be better with money and, advance their money. Sorry, let me turn on this light. Okay. And advance their money and know how to market and use their money. And for my first source, my first core problem was from Lisa Ardi and Anna Marissa and Olivia S. Michelle. That's the author's name. It was over financial literacy, theory, and evidence. And I have everything broke down, and I'm going to explain and talk to you back and forth. But this article, the first one, it explains why it's important to know how to handle money at a young age. And they say that many students who don't get taught to save or budget or even use credit, then it will clearly show later in life. And the credit part, I literally just started learning about this, and this is my senior year in college. So this is very important to know about, how to build credit, how to start later in life. It's going to be hard to buy things without credit, and that's just the way the world is. And knowing this information is very critical because, I'm just learning this information, and I feel like it's good for a lot of people to understand and know how to build credit, how to budget and save money, and just do the right things wisely by their money. And this also says this article shows that showing people with better financial knowledge make smarter decisions later in life. And this source is helpful because it supports teaching personal finance in high school. And that would have been so great for me because out of high school, I went straight to football. I was at Texas Christian first, and I received a FAFSA. I've never had 2,000, regardless of how much it was, 2,000, 3,000 in one setting. That was gone in literally a blink of an eye. I didn't budget it. I didn't help myself later. I was just, okay, yeah, I'm ready for my next paycheck, and that's not how it's supposed to go. My second source is from Mandel Lewis, The Impact of Financial Education in High School and in College. And it says Mandel looks at how students took personal financial classes in high school or college handled their money. It's kind of the same as the Anna Marissa one, but I have different sources. But what this article helps about, it helps show that teaching students about money early really works and is useful for education, and ensuring that education, if this was getting taught, would make a big difference. For my third source is a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, advocating K through 12 financial education. This explains why teaching money skills in elementary, middle school, and high school is important. And it also gives different topics for each grade level. So elementary, we're talking about just saving money. We're not going to get into the credit part about elementary kids. They're going to forget it as soon as they leave for recess. And it gives topics about saving, budgeting, and credit from different levels. And this is a good source to show how schools can build a good finance program if you was to go over that source. And my fourth source is called Jumpstart. And Jumpstart Coalition for Personal Financial Literacy. And it's all through financial literacy, and it's also kind of all in the same sense, knowing how to save, budget, and credit. But this one goes over spending, investing, and more. And investing is something I just started getting recently used to because I'm in a world now where we're getting paid NIL money, and it's money that I've never dealt with before. So it's also good for me to understand this topic and this source, because learning how to invest is probably one of the biggest things that goes over people's head, because at first you got to get the money to invest. So it's something a lot of this, like I said, credit is new to me. So learning how to invest and building your money to make more money is also great. And also this helps with paying taxes, learn how to get tax write-offs and supporting a lot of things like charity to get tax write-offs. So it's like a lot of things new that I'm literally learning as I'm speaking. So, and this source helps explain what financial literacy looks like in a school setting and what schools should aim for. And it says it's useful because it sets a clear guideline for teaching finance. If I was to explain this, I would probably go over Jumpstart and go over that source. My next source is, I say FINRA, but it's FINRA, Investor Education Foundation. This study shows that many people in the U.S. don't have strong financial skills. That's facts, especially young adults. That's facts. It shows how Americans manage their money and how much they should spend and how much they know about interest rates, budgeting, and debt. Still don't have a clue about interest rates. I'm still learning. And it shows that there is a need for more financial education. The report itself for showing real numbers and trends. So I think I will also go over to FINRA if I was to explain the source or explain what financial literacy looks like. Then there's another one, my sixth source, called EverFi. It's the case for high school financial education. And this article explains how high schools should teach personal finance. It shares stories, data, and expert opinions. Literally, it does. Showing that students who learn about money are more confident and make better choices later in life. And it also provides an online tool that help school teach finance. So yeah, EverFi is a good one too. And my seventh source is called Urban Carly. High school personal financial education policies on financial behavior. It says this study shows how state laws require personal finance classes affect students. And as I was reading over this one, it was basically saying like, where did it go? I'm sorry. It was saying like how these states were more likely to budget, save, and use credit wisely. And I guess different states have different financial laws. And that was new to me because I always thought, we're talking about money, but that was kind of new to me. And I think this research is key because it shows that making financial education like a rule can actually change a student behavior, because there's no way, for example, Manhattan has a better credit or a better, not credit, a better financial state than Texas. And Texas is huge. So that was new to me. That was very new to me. And I was also shocked that states have different financial laws, which is new to me. And my last source is from Sarah Toten, Why Personal Finance Should Be Taught in High School. And I think that's a big matter. This article makes a case that learning about money in high school is just as important as learning history and math, because it talks about real life problems that we all face. Yes, we can talk about math and history and go over what happened in the past or whatnot, but after high school, we have real life problems. And if you don't even have a credit to start anywhere or have money or budgeting or saving, I'm just blessed that I was in a situation that I was in just to go from here to school again. So talks about real life problems that students face, like paying for college, managing, avoiding scams. And Sarah, what the writer says, financial education helps students prepare for adult life. And that's very true. And it's helpful because it's short and easy to understand and makes a strong argument for finance classes and for people to understand how to build, budget, and save money. So those were my 8 sources over financial literacy. And I thank you for joining me today. Thanks.